Welcome to Classic Hollywood Insights. Today we're pulling back the curtain on a topic rarely discussed openly: the hair transplants and toupees of Hollywood's golden age and beyond. We'll count down iconic stars whose battles with hair loss became part of their legend, sometimes in ways they never intended. This isn't about mockery, but about understanding the immense pressure to maintain a flawless image in an industry built on illusion. From experimental procedures to secretive studio fixes, hair became a battleground for youth and stardom. So grab your popcorn, let's explore the real stories behind Hollywood's most famous hairlines. First up, the legendary Frank Sinatra, old Blue Eyes himself. Sinatra's style was iconic, but as he aged, his thinning hair became Hollywood's open secret. That signature fedora? More than a fashion statement, it often hid a receding hairline and, at times, a toupee. Rumors swirled about early hair transplants, known as hair plugs, which left a telltale, unnatural look. Comedians joked, the press speculated, and Sinatra played along, but the anxiety was real. Inconsistent hairlines in films and photos only fueled the fascination. For Sinatra, every strand was part of the act, an endless struggle to stay the romantic leading man. His hair became a symbol of the fight against time and the cost of Hollywood perfection. Despite the scrutiny, Sinatra's charisma never faded. His story is a classic example of the lengths stars went to for image and the pressure that came with it. Even when the seams showed, Sinatra wore them with style. Next, the original James Bond, Sean Connery. Connery began losing his hair at 21, long before he ever donned the tuxedo. Every Bond film featured a carefully crafted hairpiece, a secret the studio guarded fiercely. As the years passed, the illusion sometimes slipped a wind-blown scene, a rough stunt, a hairline that didn't quite match. Off-screen, Connery was unfazed, later embracing his natural baldness in roles like The Name of the Rose. The contrast between the on-screen Bond and the real Connery highlights Hollywood's obsession with image. His comfort with aging became a refreshing counterpoint to the industry's relentless pursuit of youth. Connery's hair journey is a testament to movie magic and to the confidence that comes from owning your true self. The toupees served their purpose, but his legacy was always more than skin deep. Bond needed hair, Connery didn't. And that made all the difference. Burt Reynolds, moustache, swagger, and for decades a famously full head of hair. Unlike most, Reynolds was open about his toupees, even giving them nicknames. Still, his changing hairline became a running joke and a tabloid obsession. As technology evolved, so did his look, sometimes for the worse, with dense, helmet-like hairpieces and rumoured transplants. The pressure to maintain his macho image was relentless, and the cosmetic fixes often drew more attention than the hair loss itself. Reynolds' candour was groundbreaking, but it also made his hair a central part of his public persona. He became the poster child for celebrity hair replacement, sometimes overshadowing his real talent. His story is a lesson in the cost of maintaining a brand in Hollywood. John Wayne, the ultimate screen cowboy, wore a toupee for most of his career. The studios guarded this secret fiercely. The hairpiece was as essential as his boots and hat. Off-camera, Wayne was comfortable bald, but on set, the illusion had to be perfect. As he aged, the toupee became harder to disguise. Too perfect, too stiff, sometimes even a source of on-set anxiety. Anecdotes abound, Wayne tossing his toupee to fans, or a gust of wind revealing the truth. The contrast between his rugged persona and his carefully constructed hairline fascinated the public. Wayne's story shows how even the most authentic stars relied on Hollywood magic. The toupee wasn't just vanity, it was about preserving the myth of John Wayne. Sometimes the biggest legends are built on the smallest secrets. Dean Martin, the king of cool, faced hair loss with subtlety. Unlike others, there was no infamous toupee moment, just a hairline that seemed to change from show to show. Rumours swirled about partial hairpieces and early transplants, but Martin kept it private. The Dean Martin show became a timeline of shifting styles and densities. Sometimes his hair looked natural, other times suspiciously full at the front. The technology of the day left telltale signs, but Martin's charm kept the focus on his talent. He managed to avoid public ridicule, handling the issue with the same effortless grace that defined his career. Even the king of cool wasn't immune to Hollywood's pressures, but he never let it define him. Howard Hughes, aviator, mogul, and a man consumed by obsession. As his hair thinned, Hughes tried every remedy, tonics, experimental surgeries, anything to restore his youthful image. The primitive transplants of his era left scars and disappointment, fueling his paranoia and isolation. His fixation on hair was part of a larger struggle with control and perfection. Unlike other stars, Hughes wasn't trying to please the public, he was battling his own demons. The failed procedures became a symbol of his decline. Hughes's story is a tragic reminder that the quest for perfection can become its own prison. Sometimes the cost of vanity is far more than skin deep. William Shatner's hair has been a saga worthy of Star Trek itself. From the original series, where he wore a toupee, to decades of public speculation, his hair became a pop culture phenomenon. Action scenes put his hairpiece to the test, and fans delighted in spotting the Kirk lace. Over the years, Shatner experimented with different systems and, reportedly, surgical transplants to blend his real hair with the artificial. The results were sometimes inconsistent, but Shatner embraced the jokes, even poking fun at himself on TV. His willingness to own the story turned a potential embarrassment into part of his larger-than-life persona. Shatner's hair journey mirrors the evolution of cosmetic technology and the power of self-acceptance. He stayed in the captain's chair for over half a century, hair and all. In Hollywood, that's the real final frontier. His resilience is as legendary as his hair. Ted Danson's hair on Cheers was the envy of many until he revealed, live on The Tonight Show, that it was a partial hairpiece. That candid moment changed everything, opening the door for Danson to discuss his hair loss and eventual transplants. Early transplant results were sometimes obvious with mismatched texture and density, but as technology improved, so did his look. Danson's journey from secret hairpiece to natural silver fox is a testament to patience and progress. He weathered the awkward phase and came out the other side, showing that the long game pays off. His story is proof that cosmetic solutions can evolve, and so can our attitudes. Sometimes honesty is the best style. Jeremy Piven's transformation from a receding hairline in the 90s to a dense, youthful look on Entourage sparked endless speculation. The change was dramatic, so much so that it became a modern Hollywood mystery. Experts suspect multiple advanced transplants, creating a hairline that's almost too perfect. Piven's silence only fueled the debate, making his hair a pop culture talking point. The result is impressive but sometimes draws attention for its sharp, unnatural look. Piven's story highlights both the power and the pitfalls of modern hair restoration. In Hollywood, even perfection can raise eyebrows. Elton John has always been open about his hair struggles and his failures. Early transplants were painful and disastrous, leaving him with infections and a look he famously compared to a dead squirrel. Hats and flamboyant headpieces became his signature, not just for style but to cover botched surgeries. Eventually, Elton embraced high-quality wigs, joking that his Tory is the best thing that ever happened to him. His honesty and humor turned insecurity into empowerment. Elton's journey is a lesson in acceptance sometimes. The best solution isn't to fix the problem, but to own it. He found confidence not in hair but in self-acceptance, and that's the real story. That's our look at Hollywood's most famous hair stories, from secret toupees to high-tech transplants. Behind every perfect image is a real person facing real pressures. We hope this glimpse behind the curtain inspires empathy and maybe a little admiration for the stars who navigated it all. Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. Until next time, stay curious.